Hi, I'm PJ Olson, and I'm the owner of Restorative Strength, located here in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm an expert in physical wellness, primarily working with the 50-plus age group. I help them restore their mobility and their strength while diminishing their stiffness and their pain, and get them back to living the life that they once knew. So my clients come in different situations. Some have fallen numerous times, so there's some balance issues. But then I also have very athletic people who maybe are just experiencing some pain from working all week and then going back out to the tennis court or the golf course. But then I can take somebody who maybe is fearful of the floor, and we can start in the chair. So I meet them where they're at, we can get their nervous system to be nice and calm, so we can actually start to restore the mobility and strength, and then build them from there at their pace and what is right for them. So I started my business based upon my own pain issues that I had experienced. Back when I was working at a desk job, behind a computer all day, and at a certain point, I remember getting up from my chair at my job, and literally I had to push myself out. I had so much pain, and I felt like an old person, and not a healthy old person. And so I started going out and trying to find who could help me get out of this. There had to be an answer. And then one day I found a kettlebell instructor. Through him, I was introduced to Original Strength. They were coming into town with a workshop, and I knew it was a movement-based system, but I didn't know anything really beyond that. They had good reviews. People who had experienced them had great stories to tell about how they had gotten back to doing things that they hadn't done in a long time. So I thought, well, I've tried everything else. Why not? So I bought the ticket. Just incredible. I saw a gentleman who had had a frozen shoulder that had been going on for 5 months suddenly lift his arm up in full range of motion by the end of the first day. I saw people said they couldn't squat, suddenly squat almost down to the floor. I mean, just amazing things were happening to people. And for my own self, with my own pain, by the end of the day, after I was watching with amazement what everybody else was doing, I realized that when I walked out the door that nothing hurt. Nothing hurt. And so I thought, I think this is something I need to follow up on. I realized looking around after that, a lot of my friends in my age group, watching them, they couldn't even squat down to the floor to pick something up off the floor. They couldn't get down on the floor to play with their kids. There were all these things that they had stopped doing, and I thought to myself, I need to help them. I need to show them what I know. I decided that it was time to make a change, and I left the music industry after 30 years of being in it, and I started my own business called Restorative Strength. And that's been the most rewarding experience I have had in my entire life. There's so many stories I could tell that how people's lives get changed, and actually a lot of times in a very short period of time, sometimes within a month or two. I was hired to work with a woman who was in need of a hip replacement, and she was my age. She was in a lot of pain, but they needed her to get stronger first before she went through the surgery so that the recovery process would be quicker. So we started working together, and every time I showed up, she had so much pain. And so we just did gentle movements and taught her how her body was designed to move, did some dynamic stretching, just kind of stayed on the floor for the most part, just moving and talking. And within a few weeks, she noticed that the pain had really diminished significantly. We got her to the point where she was moving so well, she was gotten so much stronger, the pain was almost like non-existent. She was actually able to delay that hip replacement surgery by 1.5 years based on the work we did. It was amazing to watch as I applied these principles to her, how her body just responded so well. I do work with people with Parkinson's, and this woman came to me. She had fallen numerous times, scared to death. So we had to start in the chair. 6 weeks we spent only in the chair, just working on mobility and strength and doing different movement patterns to help her body move better, get the nervous system where it needed to be able to get up. Finally, in the 6th week, got her out of the chair onto her feet. A few months go by, and we're still working together, and one day I looked up into the computer screen, watching her through Zoom, and she had actually taken her hands off of the walker. She is doing exercises from her feet with no fear whatsoever. And then a couple weeks ago, she showed up and told me with great pride she had gotten in the car, driven herself to Target, did 1,700 steps around Target just with the cart, and then came back to the car, came back home, and it was just that feeling of independence that she got back from this. And again, those are the kind of things that when I hear that, it's just like someone got their life back. Someone got their life back by doing this work. Most people don't realize that I primarily work on Zoom, especially when people don't feel good. The thought of getting in their car and even driving across Nashville was really intimidating to them. They didn't know if they could actually make it all the way without their backs hurting. So I started rethinking how I was going to work with people, and I realized that Zoom actually could be the answer. I found that I actually had almost a better ability to connect with them through the computer screen, face to face, and then work with them just as easily, if not even better. What I love about it is that there's so many people out there, especially in the age group that I'm working with, and for them to be able to stay in their home and just come into the Zoom room with me and be able to get a full training session has really worked well for them. It's very convenient. Like I said, it's as successful, if not even more successful, than what we were accomplishing inside the gym. I invite people to come experience a complimentary 30-minute success strategy session with me to learn how they might be able to work with me. I've got numerous offerings. Again, I've got private training. I've got these 25-minute movement classes that meet 3 times a week with replays. I've got a digital course. There's just a lot of different ways they can work with me. So please feel free to reach out to me however is most convenient and easiest for you. I'd love to have a conversation with you to see how I can help. I look forward to talking to you soon.